Hey guys, glad to have you watching again after such a long time. In this video I would like to show you the items and ant colonies I purchased from Esthetic Ants. I didn't film the actual opening of the box itself, but I am showing every item, starting with the ants. I bought 3 ant colonies in total, from the left to the right: Camponotus fellah, Camponotus albosparsus and Camponotus peep. Camponotus peep. Yes, it's on the screen. I know unboxing is a thing and people love to watch it, but filming and unboxing is pretty hard to do when most of the items are secured with tape. And my priorities lies with the ants, so this is as far as it's going to get. The difference in size is insane. The fellah is way bigger compared to the other two. Let's start with the big lady. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of footage of the queen. As you can tell, she's pretty frustrated, plucking her cotton on both sides of the test tube. And I can imagine, she had a long journey and ended up with the postman who was thinking he was in So You Think You Can Dance. So as soon as I opened the box, I noticed her eggs were scattered around in the test tube. I grabbed a knife to cut her loose from the package and immediately put her away, vibration free, hoping she was not stressed out too much by the vibrant postman. Hey, at least he is enjoying his work. Next time I'll ask if they can make it a package and I will pay the extra costs. You can clearly see how much cotton she has been plucking away. The next day I wanted to feed the colony some sugar and protein, as I was feeding the entire Antroom that day, so I decided to check up on the fellah as well. The queen was a lot more relaxed, but she ate all of her brood overnight. I was afraid this might happen. Of course, I want all 3 colonies to thrive, but I have this species on my list for so long now. I gave the fellah some sugar and protein off camera and put her away really fast. And although I don't have a lot of footage of her now, I'm happy to inform that the queen has already laid eggs. So I will make an update about the colony once they are bigger and a lot more stable. I think it's time to show you the second colony, Camponotus Sexguttatus. These ants are small and currently housed in a small test tube, which will do just fine for now. To be honest, I have never heard of them before, but something unfamiliar is always interesting. The colony contains a queen, 1 worker and some brood. They have a nice new batch of eggs, which is looking very promising. The colony responds very well. They don't care about the light, and when I cause vibrations, both of the ants turn to the brood, protecting but not running around in panic. I asked around and I heard that these ants develop quite fast, so I'm really curious about their progression. I love to see both of them working together, cleaning themselves, each other and the brood. I was being told that you can identify these species by looking at the white spot on the queen's gaster. She has 1 spot on every side. The worker is pulling on the cotton, and hungry or not, they will receive some sugars and protein before I put them away. I gave them a dubia leg, but they seem more interested in each other than the actual food. It didn't take long before the queen approached her meal. Look how beautiful she is. I'm not sure if there's an order or that one of the ants is defending while the other one is feasting, but I haven't seen the worker ant munching on the roach leg, and the queen is going for quite some time now. I decided to give them some sugars as well, and wanted to show how I give them their sugars by using a syringe and gently add a drop of sugar water. But I lost balance and pressed the syringe a lot further than I wanted to, and this of course at the speed of light, so unfortunately there was brood everywhere. I'm happy to see that this colony responded very quickly. Both the queen and the worker collected the brood as fast as they could. The worker was grabbing the brood, which was scattered across the test tube. while the queen was below her and quickly made sure the brood was free from sticky sugar water. I think I harassed them for way too long now, and the trauma at the end didn't make it any better, so I put them away, in the dark, and would repeat the process with the last colony. May I introduce to you Camponotus albosparsus. This beautiful colony was not on my planning, but kind of a last minute purchase, but I must say they really surprised me. I really love their color and the pattern on their gaster, so yes, I'm quite surprised with my last minute purchase. The ants are very active and not easily spooked. They respond to vibrations, but just like the Sexguttatus, they don't run around in panic. The queen is a lot darker and is standing motionless at the back of the tube. The ants respond to my movement and move the brood around, but most of the time it's laying below the cotton, in a place they carved out. So the only option to get their brood on camera is if they move it themselves, because I'm not turning the tube around just to show you guys, I'm sorry. But as you can tell by the badge the worker has in her mandibles, it's looking very promising. And this will turn into a lovely colony. I can't wait to test the new nests out from Esthetic Ants. I think it's time to feed the colony some sugars and their brood some protein. I will do this once in their test tube and will move them into a tubs and tube setup 2 days later. This time I will show you how to do it without blasting half the colony against the back. The needle goes between the test tube and the cotton, and once I reach the position I like, I slowly press the syringe. I pull the needle back out and done. Normally I'm not a fan of sugar water and I rather give my ants some sunburst or beetle jelly, but I received the sunburst as a gift from Esthetic Ants, and the ants seemed to like it a lot. The ball of sugar water didn't last long and the queen was fed right after. I thought the ants would appreciate the head of a roach, but of course I'm placing it in a terrible position for my camera. The ants were happily feasting and it didn't take long before the queen was joining them. I love colonies like this, workers protecting the brood and ants that immediately feast when food has arrived. Their test tube has almost no water left, so I decided to give them a small tubs and tube setup. This gives the ant the opportunity to move themselves if they feel like it. For small colonies like this, I like to use small boxes with ventilation on the sides. These containers used to contain my feeder insects. It's a perfect fit for test tubes, which I will show you a little later on. Now the setup needs an escape barrier. I like to use PDFE or Fluon, since this is a lot less messy than talcum, which is talcum with alcohol. Let this dry up for a couple of minutes and you should be good to go. In these setups I like to use a little bit of sand. They could use the sand if they would like to, and it makes cleaning up a lot more easy. And what I like most about these tubs and tube boxes, like I said before, they are a perfect fit and there's a narrow gap at the entrance of the test tube, which the ants seem to like a lot. Moving them into their new setup has caused some stress, so I will leave the ants be and do a proper introduction once the colony has reached an interesting size. Let's continue with the goodies I got from Esthetic Ants. A lot of the filming was very quick and I did this in one take since we're still not done with the house. Like always, the printed ant. I really need to give them a good spot in the Antroom, and after several orders, it should make a wonderful colony of itself. The second item is the sugar water. Like I said, it's not my favorite substance to use, but I will keep using it with the 3 colonies I got, so thank you Esthetic Ants. The last item is this acrylic nest. I don't have a lot of these and it's not my favorite to use, but I think it's beautiful and it would be something different for a change. I will think or purchase a colony for this nest and will assemble it and review it as soon as the ants live in it. It shouldn't take too long, because I would really love to use it soon. And I will give it my honest opinion. But so far it looks really good and I can't wait to get some epic macro shots of the ants inside. For everyone that has come this far watching, I have a 20% discount code for Aesthetic Ants. I'm not being sponsored and I don't get any commission. You guys just earn some extra discount. So the first 10 people that will use this code Camponotus20 will get 20% off. I would like to thank Aesthetic Ants for my order and the beautiful colonies I received. I have my regular contacts for my ants, but I'll be ordering a lot more from EA. I love the fact that he takes the risk to bring more uncommon and exotic ants on his web shop. And what I personally like is his transparency about his ants. Through his social media, he streams a lot of the feeding, so sometimes you'll be able to see the colony live before you make your purchase. I have some extra footage of the nest I received, but besides that, I would really like to thank you for watching. I have some amazing colonies and videos coming up. But the Antroom and our house are still not ready, so I'm sorry for any delay. When the Antroom is finished, the production will go a lot quicker. I can spoil that next week I'll be showing you a new massive Mesobabarus colony, which goes into thousands of workers. It belonged to a well-known Dutch ant YouTuber. Make sure to check out next week if I've made you curious. I would like to thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed my content. And I would also appreciate your like and comment as well. Bye bye.